I'm going to work you through some of lesson 1 on chapter 10. We were in chapter 9, we were working on surface area, like the area of a parallelogram, area of a triangle, area of a trapezoid, and that's just the surface area. That's the area of one side. Now we're going to move from area to volume. And volume, you're trying to figure out how much fits in a shape, like a box or um, so we're talking about prisms. We're talking about prisms. This is a rectangular prism. We'll eventually do volumes in a triangular prism and pyramidal, but we want to start with rectangular. So there's a formula to it, and the area. Remember when you found the area of something? Like if I found the area of this, it was maybe a 3 by 2, we'll call that feet. Oops, 3 feet by 2 feet. And the formula is base times height, or you could also say it's length times width. Okay, so it's 3 times 2 is 6. 6 feet squared. You put a little 2 there because you're squaring it. Because what you're telling me is how many I did that wrong. Should just be like that. You're telling me how many squares fit in that one box. So in this, you have 6 squares that fit in there. So the area of a surface area of one shape is squared. Now, if I'm talking about the volume, I want to figure out like how many squares. I'm not dealing with squares. I'm dealing with how many blocks or cubes. Okay, how many cubes can I fit into a shape? So you're cubing it, which, if you remember, cubic is like, say it's feet, has a little 3 above it. So many feet cubed. The 3, if you do a 2 above up there means squared. That's how many squares are in it. A little 3 is cubic feet, cubed. Okay, so just a little thing we got to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the formula for finding the volume. Volume, how much fills the box? Okay, it's the volume is the length times the width times the height. That's the real easy way to remember it. Volume is length times width times height. Okay? You could also write it like this. Volume equals, that's a big B. When you write a little b, it means base. When you write a big B, it's the area of the base. So this big B says area of the base times the height. Now the area of the base is just simply the length times the width. Okay? So length times width. I might go with this formula to begin with, even though this is exactly the same. Volume equals length times height, or length times width times height. So we have this shape over here. It's a cube. It's a box. So we need to know how many, what's the volume of it. Move this over here. Okay. So volume equals length, okay? Length, 10 feet, times width. Width of it is 4, times the height is 6. Then I just put those together. 10 times 4, that's 40, times 6, that's 240. And we're talking about feet, and it's the volume, so it's cubed. So the volume of this shape right here is going to be 240 feet cubed. So if I have a cube that's 1 foot by 1 foot, 1 foot by 1 foot, I could fit 240 of those in this shape. Okay? All right, now, just like with the other ones, when you're doing the surface area, if you have all of the information except for maybe one piece, you can still figure out what it is. So on this one, I have the length, I have the width, I'm missing the height. So what I'm going to do, just like what I did with the other one, I'm going to write the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. So in this one, I have the volume, 84 equals, my length is 6 times my width is 4 times my height. Now, I just want to solve for h. That's my variable. I need to figure out what that is. So I can do some of this together. I can do some of it right now. 84 equals 6 times 4 is 24 times h. Now, I want to get this h all by itself. It's times 24, so I do the opposite. Divided by 24, divided by 24. Okay? And when I do that, this gives me h equals, and then 84 divided by 24 is, let's see, 3.5. 3.5, and it's meters, so 3.5 meters. So the height equals 3.5 meters. Now, I could check it by putting my length in here, my width in here, and now that I have 3.5, put it in here, times this by this by this, it should get me that 84 meters cubed. Okay? So this is just a real basic introduction to it. Volume of the rectangular prism is the easiest. Once you start getting into the volume of triangular prisms and other things, it gets a little bit more difficult. But remember the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. And of a rectangular prism, you should be able to figure out the cubic volume. All right?